So Michigan fans, let's just take a breath. Let's enjoy what we have in front of us. Let's stop worrying about the future. And let's go out there and let's celebrate what we've got. All right? I'm sick of people complaining. I'm sick of people worrying about stuff. If we take care of business this year, if we take care of Ohio State, if we run through the Big Ten, if we make it to the playoff, if you get to the national championship game, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. Let's enjoy it.
The sideline, forget about it. This baby's over.
Oh, my goodness. One man. Goodbye. Hello, Heisman.
And most especially in 310 days in Ann Arbor, Michigan, on the football field.
Another block. One more, and he's got it. Touchdown, no flag.
Samuel cuts it back. Ohio State wins.
Here's the run again. Donovan Edwards. Whoa, can they catch him? No, Donovan Edwards again. The down.
Alrighty, welcome back, Garrison. It's here. We got the appetizer with week 0, and now we're days away from week 1. The college football season is upon us, brother. How are we feeling?
I'm feeling really good. Some of us actually played teams, in the first week. So, I'm really excited to see us play IU, and it's on the road. No, man, I'm really excited. I don't think it's hit me yet. Probably around Friday at, when I finally try to get in bed, and I can't sleep. That's probably what's going to happen. How about you?
Friday? We got games Thursday.
No, I'm talking about our game. I'm thinking about Ohio State now. I'm gonna watch all the football, of course, but I'm getting more because of what's been said over the last 24 hours. I'm very anxious right now. So,
well, okay, fill the fans in. What's been said the last 24 hours?
Oh no, it's just a lot. I was over this, and I said this. I think a show ago. No, the quarterback conversation has gotten a little nasty now at Ohio State.
All right, so that wasn't.
What are you talking about later? I want to hear about how you're feeling about the season coming up here.
Well, hold on, no. Columbus is in disarray right now, and this was on our things to talk about, but it's very pertinent right now.
Yeah, we can be very quick about it.
So I saw Zach Smith. He's gonna make a joke, but he might listen, so we're not gonna say that. I saw Menace to Sports little clip there. What's going on, dude? What is going on? Has Day lost control already? We're not even at week 0.
Well,
week 1.
First off, Zach and Chris are not in the building, so no, this has nothing to do with Ryan Day. Don't you bring his name into this? I'm gonna be very quick about this. I have also said I believe Devin Brown will be the quarterback, and like I've said before, like the media thinks it's gonna be Kyle McCord. A lot of guys that are in the, I guess you could say, the know a little bit, or have the same Devin Brown. Now, but I've also said I don't think one will win the job because one is bad, I think it's because both of them are playing really good. So one guy takes a step, and I'm on record. I don't care who our quarterback is. I trust Ryan Day. But when you go out and say stuff like that, especially about it, when you say something that egregious about a kid, I'll call him about a young man who he's fighting for his position right now, or battling for it. People forget, man. Quentin Ewers committed to Ohio State. He didn't go off somewhere else. He stayed through that. That's tough. A lot of kids are not doing that. You're a top 6 quarterback in the nation, Bryce. The number 1 quarterback in your class comes to your school. What would most kids do? Leave, decommit, do whatever they want to do, and that's their right. And I have no problem with that. And then he's asked the second year why he didn't transfer, and his response to the reporter was, "I came to Ohio State for competition, and I'm going to compete." He is competing. That's what he's doing. Exactly what he came here to do. And so to say that about him, I don't like that.
Yeah, it felt like it felt unnecessary.
And it felt like I said, I like those guys over there, and like they don't, but it sounds kind of personal because you guys have been pushing the Devin Brown train.
You say you guys are talking about
Zach and
Zach Smith, yeah.
Zach Smith and Chris. And so then once I guess you kind of get the inkling that it's gonna be Kyle McCord, and you say it's because his dad said that. Nah, we're not doing that. We're not doing it. Come on, it's Ohio. Man, we don't have to do that at Ohio State. We don't have to bend the knee to some parents. What? Like, come on, man. Come on. So it was just that. That's just my 2 cents on that.
That's your two. Yeah. Well, you're closer to the situation than I am, so I'll leave it to you, and I'll trust whatever you say there. It's just we're 5 days away now. Weird things to be saying.
We need a quarterback.
How I don't know how you can let that one out of the camp. Just makes you wonder if Ryan Day's got control of the situation.
Well, I mean, I'll be quick about this. I'll just read this real quick. This is what Ryan Day said. You know what? No, I'll wait. You know what?
Well, let's dive in. We'll go back to what we were going to talk about.
Camp talk, because I'm gonna end it with this. because I want to hear what you have to say. Because
Floor's yours.
Ryan said they have to bring it every day. When you have someone that you're competing against every day in practice, it brings out the best in you, because you can't take a play off. Every play matters. And I mean, I kind of talked about it, but I said he's waiting to see one of those guys and see who pops. I guarantee I'm willing to put, I'll stay on the ledge of saying, I bet you they're both playing really good football right now. He wants to see something. He wants to see different. And I think that's what we're waiting for. Then, Bryce, you know who Pete Werner is? Linebacker for the Saints. I forgot, dude. He was actually a 2nd round pick. Didn't think about that.
Was he really? Pete Werner?
Yeah.
Number 20, right?
The New Orleans Buckeyes. But he says he referenced Pete Werner, which I thought was really cool. This is 7 years ago. And he said during the senior year, Pete Werner said that one of the things he wanted to make sure he left in terms of legacy was that every play matters, every rep matters. He also was right about that, and we use that a lot around here. And I mean, last time we talked about this, we brought up about the reps and saying guys have to be consistent in those reps. Hey, man. We'll see. I guess we'll see. That's all I got on that, Bryce.
McCord will start against Indiana, right? Because he just will. And I'll be curious to see how long it goes till we know what really went down, right? Isn't that fair to say McCord will start against Indiana? He's older. Each quarterback's going to get their reps.
I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think
you don't.
I think you have 2 talented guys playing right now, and whoever wins. And I've said it before, man. Whoever gets that job, I promise he's going to give it up.
Okay, you heard it here first, friends.
So,
all right, what else is going on?
I didn't need to. I'm sorry, JT.
You're plugging your JT hate episode so well over the last couple episodes, where when we finally give you the floor and you can just go off and say why you don't like JT Barrett. I know you like him.
I like him.
You like him.
I love that. I love him as a player, as a person.
As a player, but why you think he's overrated? I mean, you're plugging this well, so save it. We'll give you your
not even top 20 Buckeyes of the last 20 years, but what's going on over there in that place?
A squared, baby. So yeah, big day today out of camp. Big couple days today. Harbaugh and Jesse Minter had a press conference. Mm-hmm. But going back a few days, if you missed it, Michigan announced who the head coaches will be for the 3 games that Harbaugh is missing. So Jesse Minter is going to be the head coach against East Carolina week 1. Mike Hart and Jay Harbaugh are going to be splitting head coaching duties, which I don't even know what that looks like. Excited to hear more about that next Monday for the press conference.
Jim's going to be on a Bluetooth the whole time talking to the coaches.
We'll get to. I would do. Well, I agreed. I dude, I'm still upset that they even gave into this. That's another conversation, but I'm still annoyed that they gave into this. Week 3, then Sharon Moore will take over. Other news regarding him is that he got suspended for the week 1 game. So the game coming up Saturday. So Coach Campbell will be taking over the play calling duties there. I'll get there in a little bit. Ben Herbert, strength coach, and then the legend himself, Jack Harbaugh, will be coming in to be the associate head coach.
Jim,
for these.
What are you doing?
That's a good quote. Some major updates there. Jim came to the podium today, talked about a few things here. Again, if you're the rivals to Michigan, I can see why you don't like him. But if you're not, and you're just a third party fan outside this rivalry and outside this Big Ten community, I don't know how you dislike the guy.
I don't know who disagree with anything.
So to give it context, if you haven't watched it yet, he got up there and read off a piece of paper, and he was super direct and essentially looking into the eye of the NCAA without making an official comment to it.
Yeah.
But in essence, he was challenging the NCAA, calling his shot, taking shots at them. And as somebody who is trying to bring the system down, pretty much openly criticizing and ridiculing the system that's in place from the NCAA. And it was perfect. It was Jim Harbaugh-esque. He did it in a way that, again, it wasn't too flashy, but it was very serious. And just to kind of touch on some of the things he said, he had a couple good quotes, but really led off the whole conversation just talking about advocating for the student athletes and talking about how the NCAA is bringing in hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. And the fact that there is no revenue share in place, he said is crazy. So really challenging the status quo, which is fantastic in every format. I think everybody, regardless of who's saying those words, would agree with that. If it's Jim or not, I think people would agree with that. Just basically saying, he had one line too. We talked about, he said, you can't say you're all about diversity. So I'm not looking to go into like a political thing here, but he's basically saying you can't talk about diversity without talking about revenue sharing. So it's actually providing for the athletes and making sure they get what they need. Don't roll your eyes. Don't roll your eyes. You
I'm
agree.
I guess so. In a way, he's right. I agree to an extent when he says that. I agree with I agree with the overall sentiment of what he said. When it comes to revenue sharing, I think that's a different conversation. When you start to talk about student athletes potentially being employees of the university, that's all. That's an hour conversation that I don't think we have time for. But yeah, man, I'm with Harbaugh on this, and I really respected the way he went about that. I think everything you said, Bryce, hit on the nail. Like I said, he came out very. I've never seen Jim like that.
Yeah,
I've never seen Jim like that. And it was really cool to see. I actually have. I really respect him for it. I respect him highly for how he went about it. He wasn't over emotional.
Yeah,
wasn't.
Good point.
I don't think he was kind of like hyper like he was after the 2016 game. He came out there with a piece. The fact that he came out there with a piece of paper, because usually he's a guy that talks off the dome.
Yes.
The fact that he came out with a piece of paper that he had written on or typed or whatever.
Yep.
Oh no! This has been. He said he wanted to talk. This has been brewing in his mind and soul for some time now. So that was really cool.
Oh, well put. Well put. I had that down here, and you nailed it. I don't need to say any more of that. That was exactly what I was going to say.
So yeah, you ran out of my good things to say about Jim Harbaugh this episode. So.
We're at the limit.
Yes.
Okay, it's fair. And then just in terms of this week's upcoming game, coaching, a few interesting comments he made, just raving about his head coaches, which is awesome. But then he had a line too about his suspension, which I think this one circulated social media pretty quickly. I thought it was an interesting one. So some people may call this a slap on the wrist. I liken it to a baseball bat to the kneecap. And he's just talking about how much it's going to suck to miss his game. He said he hasn't missed a game, a stretch of games like this since he was in college when he broke his arm. And he said it's going to be agonizing, to which point he then said he's thinking about, he says he doesn't think he can watch the game necessarily, so he might go to his grandson's game that day instead and just watch it on TV later.
Bryce, I told you he's not watching that game.
You don't think he's going to?
No. Bryce, remember we had that conversation, and I said, it's kind of like what Urban Meyer went through. Urban was not happy about that. He felt the same way when we suspended him. It was like, especially if it comes down from your own university. But yeah, it was like a baseball to the kneecaps. I understand that. I get that.
Yeah.
But those guys are very stubborn men.
They're stubborn. Yeah.
In their own fashion.
No, they are. No, they absolutely. They're stubborn men who are insane control freaks. And
what you need to be a top-notch coach.
100%. You need to have your finger on everything, which is sometimes not a good argument to make when things don't go
That's a
well.
joke.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. That was good. Didn't mean that, but Garrison reached into the bucket there.
Sorry.
So yeah, just as
like Durbin.
as a control freak, that's going to be visual for him. So
yeah,
moving on. Sorry, mom and dad. I apologize for Garrison. Garrison, I want to go back to the Buckeyes for a second, and we skipped over this last time, and this didn't get enough attention. Your uncle LJ was making fun of Don Brown 2.0's jack position. How do you feel about that? He's
okay.
Yeah.
This is why, like, it was such a nothing burger. Like, this was annoying about some of you guys. All right.
Oh boy.
Jim Knowles already said that he is having 4 down linemen. So when you sit there and you ask Larry Johnson about something that is what the jack position is not a thing anymore. Now, unless Jim Knowles is lying through his teeth, what are we talking about?
Okay.
What are we talking about? That's why you guys think he's making fun of the jack position, which I think he hates.
It sounded like it.
But he's laughing. Why? It's not a thing anymore. It's not supposed to be. It shouldn't be. Now we'll see, because I mean, we did get Edric Houston. Edric Houston likes to play on the edge. He likes to, like, without his hand in the dirt. So we'll see. Maybe we are keeping it. Maybe we're keeping it for specific downs, which I would understand.
Yeah.
Because then you can get guys like Kenyatta Jackson on the field.
Yeah, good analysis. All right, that's a good response. That's a good response.
What are we talking about?
It felt a little passive aggressive there, and I didn't think it got enough attention. And I just thought
he's allowed to be.
He's just old. Okay.
This guy's old, man. He's stuck in his ways. Let him be him.
He's old. He's old, and he gets the job done.
Exactly.
Much to my dismay, chagrin, dismay. Garrison, I got a message for Michigan fans here.
Sir, please go. I'm looking forward to this.
Well, thank you. I mean, it's not going to revolutionize college football, but it feels like over the past couple weeks, we've seen hiccups in recruiting. We've seen our rival snag some of our recruits, capitalize on others. We've lost head-to-head battles to programs that we have no business losing to based off success. Toss the NIL in the conversation. I understand that changes things. Sure.
Yeah.
But there's been just some hiccups there. I think on top of that too, you look ahead and you say, okay, we're going to lose a lot of production going into next year, and we'll probably lose a lot of our coaching staff. Coordinators are going to move up or move out to other positions, and I think there's a bit right now in the air of we're a little worried of the future. To that, though, I want to say this, Garrison. We are days away from what we are anticipating to be the greatest Michigan football season in my lifetime. I was born in...
it would be ever. It would be ever.
Now, I asked my dad that, and he said 76 was a big year. I was not alive then, so I can't...
You tell him to get out of here with 76.
I cannot go back to that. I was born in 92, and I barely remember 97. So
I'm sorry, Bryce. Continue. I'm sorry. That was crazy to hear.
My point being is that there is anticipation. The other thing, Garrison, is that this year I'm saying this year coming up, we are mentioned in the same breath as the top programs. It's Georgia, it's Alabama, it's Ohio State, and Michigan. And that's not like, I'm not saying that's the order. So a lot of times, I mean, shoot, Michigan's ranked number 2, but when people are listing off the teams to watch out for, the teams that could win, the teams that will go to the playoff, right? Michigan's always in that. And to call a spade, it hasn't always been that way. Aside from the past couple of years, and it has not always been that way. So Michigan fans, let's just take a breath. Let's enjoy what we have in front of us. Let's stop worrying about the future. And let's go out there and let's celebrate what we've got. All right? I'm sick of people complaining. I'm sick of people worrying about stuff. If we take care of business this year, if we take care of Ohio State in Ann Arbor, if we run through the Big Ten, if we make it to the playoff, if you get to the national championship game, we'll be all right. We'll be all right. Let's enjoy it. That's all I got.
Hey, that was well said, Bryce. That was
all I got.
No, I think what's happening to a lot of Michigan fans right now is like I've been there before, but you gotta kind of like understand what the situation is. It's a scary proposition when you know your season is on. It hinges on everything or nothing. It hinges on everything, and I've lived that way most of my life as a Buckeye fan. It ain't fun, bro. Well, it is fun. It is fun, but
it is fun, and there is a concern.
It can be nerve wracking. Like there are days, man, while I'm watching the game, I watch Bryce. If I just had to add up all the games, I watched most Ohio State games 60 to 70% in silence. Like I don't talk during the games. I watch them in silence.
You're not talking about with the sound off. You're just talking about.
I have the sound on,
but no one around, not saying a word.
I don't say a word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Until it's time.
Until it's time. Yeah. No, of course, man. Of course. And we need to enjoy where we're at, and knowing that if you take care of business this year, we'll continue to progress into what could be an elite program. So let's enjoy this.
Maybe so. You gotta beat Bama. You gotta beat Georgia. I'll put it that way. And maybe you won't get them in the first round. But I do think the difference between you guys getting those elite recruits, like the difference between you guys recruiting like Ohio State, Bama, Georgia, is you guys have not beaten those teams. And once you do that,
things can change. So,
and when you open your pocketbook,
that's another conversation. All right, that's all I need to say. Hopefully, everyone pays attention. Good, Garrison,
that was really good.
Thank you. We're journalists.
The best.
Speaking of journalists, you've got some qualms. So let me just set up this conversation. So one of the greatest TV shows should win an Emmy every year, but for some reason it doesn't. And I guess there's a lot of competition nowadays. But College Game Day had their first show last week. Guys made their picks. Herb Street picked Alabama, Michigan, Ohio State, Georgia. National championship being Alabama over Ohio State. Pat McAfee picked Alabama, Michigan, Ohio State, and Georgia. National championship, Alabama over Georgia. Garrison, what did the third member pick, and do you agree with his picks?
Desmond the Buffoon Howard.
Hey, respect the GOAT.
He ain't Charles. Alabama. No, I don't see it. It can happen, but I don't see it. Florida State. Okay. Michigan. Who else was he gonna pick? But it's understandable. Well, that's a good pick, of course. And then he had Texas.
Yeah.
Now, this is more realistic than the one he had last year, okay? Which was Michigan, Baylor,
Texas A&M, and Pitt.
Pitt. That
tough look.
Woo! And so there's no way you're picking. I would love to hear why he's picking Alabama over Georgia, but of course, whenever he makes these picks, he doesn't explain himself because the truth of the matter is, even with a degree from Michigan, the man lacks logic.
So your biggest qualm with him is just you think he's doing it for clicks?
Yes, that's what
you don't
he
think he
does.
means?
Like, dude, he's not like. Dude, with Bryce, well, let's be completely honest here. I know, buddy. I know. Sorry, guys, my cat's talking.
Disagrees
Bryce,
with you.
on College Game Day, is he not the what's the best of the four? Which one could get which one, not including Lee Corso, which one could just get exited off first? It would be Desmond.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're not going to kick Kirk off, and Pat
Nope.
McAfee just signed a massive deal with ESPN. So
and he ain't him either.
So we'll get to him in a second.
I just think he's the weakest link. He's the weakest link of that show. And I don't like him. I must say, I can't stand him on that show because for years, outside of 1 year, thank goodness someone corrected me on. Outside of 1 year when Ohio State was favored by 20.5 points against Michigan, he picked Ohio State that day. I have seen Kirk go plenty of times pick Michigan, not pick Ohio State in bowl games or the playoffs, while Desmond Howard will sit on that chair, knowing good and damn well they ain't beating Ohio State, and he will go and pick them, and with no logic. And then I see so when I see Desmond talk, man, I need reason out of him because he lacks it entirely.
Okay.
Entirely. Yeah, I really don't. I don't even know why he's on that show. They got rid of
David Pollock.
What's his name? Dave Pollock, and kept him. That's insane, man. He's like as bad as Malika Andrews to me. I can't stand watching him on television.
So, speaking of Pollock, I saw there's a lot of Twitter discussion over the weekend about McAfee taking over Pollock's spot. Am I in the minority here? I like McAfee. I think he's a better fit. I like Pollock. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a really good college football mind. But I think McAfee's an entertainer.
He's more entertaining, but I'm going to be completely honest with you, Bryce. I am a nerd. I'm not there to be entertained. If I want to be entertained, they could walk Lee Corso's behind back up there and we can all watch like that again.
Well, hold on. I disagree with that. You go to College Game Day for college football knowledge?
I barely go there now.
Yeah, I don't go there for now. I go there to watch Pat McAfee jump into the Baylor River. I go there to watch Howard make crazy takes. I go there to watch him spin the wheel.
I mostly go there to see what Kirk says. Betting.
And the Bears gone. Chris Felica, the Bear.
Bryce, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. I might not watch. I might not watch that show that much this year because FS, dude, Fox has it. Fox,
yeah, I didn't watch Fox.
They got it, dude.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Is Urban back there still?
Who cares? He ruined Swamp Kings for me. I can't forgive him for that.
No, the directors did. No, but think about that. When you got Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart, Brady Quinn, Urban Meyer, and Charles Woodson on that show, I love it. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Here's I got two more things to say. One is I got into it with the Buckeyes on Friday.
Yes, you did.
About one of our clips. I'll show that here.
When you get the Chase Youngs of the world, you get the Michael Thomases, the Marvin Harrison, bro, it's huge.
You win one national championship in the last decade. That's what the Buckeyes are getting with all of that talent.
Do me a favor and get to one.
I'm just saying, I'm not going to sit here and celebrate these recruiting ranking victories when you guys don't have anything to show for it. When Georgia came off 2 in a row, Bama's won 5 since you guys have won 1. Good on you. Good on you.
I have Bryce.
Clemson's won 2.
I have Bryce.
Garrison, Clemson's won 2.
I have said.
Understand what's going on, but there are a lot of guys. It was really good conversation, and yeah, every fan base has that, but you think that Ohio State's gonna be worse, and I was pleasantly surprised. So, tip of the cap, Bucks. That was fun. Let's do it again soon.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed seeing that. I didn't like that. I didn't like what you did, Bryce. I liked it because it was clickbaity, but I had to express what I said after the fact because since you want to go out here and make it seem like I'm just saying something blasphemous about my team.
But were you wrong?
No,
I don't think so.
I really am, Bryce Sack. I really am.
All right, Garrison, I got one last thing for you here. I got a hot take. I think it's hot. You might not think it's hot, or you might think it's boiling. But
Let's see.
either Cornelius Johnson or Roman Wilson will be a first or second round draft pick this year. It's sizzling.
Ooh, buddy.
It's
All right,
sizzling.
so Bryce, listen, Bryce, I'm just really plain to you right now. Neither one of them are going to. And if you're gonna say something like as of right now, and if you're gonna say something, project something like that, at least give me some historical data. Was why, Bryce? Tell me, when was the last time you had 1,000-yard receiver?
Well, Ronnie Bell wasn't 1,000, was he? No, it goes.
Didn't even get the 900.
Yeah, it goes back to. Oh gosh, I know this. I saw this the other day. Do you know who it is?
I want to say Jeremy Gallon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Light-skinned guy, small, from Poplar, Florida.
Yep.
But I don't know why I remember that.
Good pull there, Garrison.
At the encyclopedia, buddy.
Yep, Jeremy Gallon, 1,300 yards.
You ain't getting that. Man, listen, unless you're telling me. Do you really think they're about to go out here and throw the ball like that?
Yes.
So with all the you have him, Tyler, Morris.
Let me just say this. And I was announced as.
You got three tight ends that are gonna get on the field. You have a running back who's gonna touch the ball, and you're making. And of course, we're projecting that JJ McCarthy has progressed in being able to read a defense in the pocket, and actually know how to put a ball in.
Feels like a good off-season activity for him to do.
With what we're spoke. Okay. And it's funny, man, because I was in a Twitter space earlier. We we're literally talking about Michigan receivers and how they're mediocre. It's a very mediocre group of guys. Like Zachariah Branch at USC, true freshman. If he came there right now, he is the best wide receiver on that team.
Yeah, but he is special.
He might be the best player on that offense. So
but that's okay. You're picking out. That's like saying Marv. Like Marv goes anywhere. He's the best player.
Don't you. That's not true.
This kid could be.
Bryce, you're comparing.
Just like that.
You're comparing Zachariah Branch to Marvin Harrison Jr. You should relax for a second.
I'm just saying. I watched that kid play the other night. He's special. But anyways, I just want to say
that could have been Xavier Worthy for you guys.
Nah, we don't want him. It was announced this week that Roman Wilson, you know what number he's going to wear this year?
Say again?
You know what number Roman Wilson's going to wear this year?
Oh, 1. That means nothing to me.
So I think let's see the number ones over the past couple of years. Ka'Ko Crawford, I'm talking about a receiver because they've been on defense.
Who?
It was a force out of California. Had a fine career at Cal after he transferred. Ka'Ko Crawford, Devin Funchess was also number 1 after being 17 and then 87, and then switched to wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if I'm missing anybody else after that, but the most famous number 1 at Michigan.
You didn't say Braylon. Wait, was Braylon number 1?
Your guy. I was about to say that. Braylon Edwards, number 1, 3rd overall pick, 2005 draft.
Desmond wasn't number 1?
21.
21. Okay.
That's my hot take. I'm just saying. Let's mark this. Let's pin it. We'll come back to it in April of next year, whenever the draft is.
Just give me a second.
Write that down. Notarize it. Anything else, Garrison?
I want a number. I want a number, Bryce. How many yards? 1,100, 13, 15? What he's gonna win the Blitnikoff?
1,100. No. Marvin Harrison's gonna win that. Well, if he plays, he'll win that this year because he got robbed of it last year, and there's gonna be a whole thing about it.
I don't know why I keep saying that. You know, Bryce, I'm gonna give him 1,100 and first or second round pick.
Yep. 1,100 yards. 15 total touchdowns. All right. Well, with that said, we'll go into next episode. We'll talk about East Carolina and the Indiana Hoosiers and what we're excited about and what's to come here. But Garrison is here, baby.
Right, man. I just want to say this real quick, Bryce. By the way you're talking, you guys better have an offense that rivals 2019 LSU, 2019 Ohio State, and 2020 Bama. The way you were talking, you're right. You're writing a check, Bryce. But I'm very excited. I'm very excited to see what the season brings, man. Like I said, I like starting the season with Big Ten football, and that's what we get to do. 3:30 on the road at IU. So
that is cool. That is awesome. Should be a night game. But all right, we'll see you guys next time.
I'm okay with that. All right, see you, bud.